Today we're headed to one of our favorite day trip destinations, the Little Bighorn battlefield, where George Armstrong Custer and 210 of his men were slaughtered by the Sioux, Arapaho, Shoshone, and Cheyenne Indian tribes. We just got here to the battlefield. This is the Little Bighorn National Cemetery. Right on top there you can see the stone. That's Last Stand Hill. You can't ride up that big hill.
I can.
No way. Okay, come on, let's cut through here. Yep, there you go. I'm gonna head up the hill here. So those are all the names of the men who died in the battle. There's a lot of speculation as to whether this is where Custer actually died or not. I'd say none of the men in Custer's battalion survived, so there's a lot of unknown. The Sioux, Blackfoot, the Cheyenne, and a few other smaller tribes were camped down here on the Little Bighorn River. A few days prior, Custer and his Crow scouts spotted their smoke from what they call the keyhole 16 miles away. And when they spotted them, they had no idea that there was over 2,000 Indians down there. Custer and his battalion had about 210 men in it, all of which died in the battle. The Native American account that I read, which is the one I believe, says that Custer and his men charged down onto the Little Bighorn River, and as soon as they were crossing the ford, one of their lead men was shot and fell from his horse. The rest of the battalion appeared to panic and retreat up the hill, which would indicate that one of those first guys to die was probably Custer himself. The battlefield runs for approximately 5 miles down this ridge. White man markers are marked with white stones, and Indian markers are marked with red stones. So there were a lot of political factors motivating Custer to attack the Indians that day, and one of them being that he believed if he could exterminate the Sioux that he would be elected president. A couple weeks before, they were on the Rosebud performing a sun dance, and Sitting Bull received a vision, and the vision was of soldiers falling into their camp. Custer actually hired Indian scouts to help him find the Sioux and Cheyenne, the Arikara and the Absaluke, or the Crow. The battlefield is actually located on the Crow Indian Reservation. Now we're making our way down the ridge here. The whites were lined up on this side in this deep coulee, and the Native Americans were coming up this side, lobbing arrows and bullets over the ridge as they went. Markers down here. See, a lot of times they're in clusters. They were actually shooting their own horses to barricade themselves just so they had some cover from fire. They were digging trenches behind the horses. Take a walk down here and look at some of these stones. It was on June 25th, 1876. Well, July 4th, 1876 would have been the 100-year anniversary of the independence of our country. The fact that this was a U.S. loss had a little bit of extra sting to it. There was a steamboat operator named Grant Marsh who, after the battle, came up the Bighorn River to try and retrieve wounded men. It's said that in order to lighten his load on the ferry boat, he threw over $375,000 worth of gold into the Bighorn River, which was never recovered. The hanging of these sashes in the tree is more of a Native American symbol of remembrance for the warriors fallen. Well, that's it for the battlefield. Now we're going to head across the highway and go to the trading post, get a bite to eat, check out some teepees.
Hurry,
Look at all those fat little prairie dogs. It doesn't take long. I'm just gonna check out the teepees quick. The trading post is just across the road from the battlefield. Battlefield's right there.
Oh, much better.
These teepees are made out of canvas. Originally they would have been made of buffalo hide, but they're still pretty cool. Some extra poles laying on the ground. We got a mini Fort Custer here. First time we came here, you could still go up there. Now they got it closed off.
Ooh, pigeon. Look at the pigeon feathers. Cheese.
No, this is just the arrowhead making material. All right, we're gonna go in and get something to eat now. Indian fry bread.
Hot. It is?
Yeah.
Also.
White fingers, Deb.
Where's the bathroom?
We're gonna shop around here a little bit.
Got a yellow handle.
What about that one?
One of these right here. An actual Spanish conquistador helmet. That's it for our day trip to the trading post and the battlefield. We had a lot of fun. Thank you for anybody who tuned in, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.